Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. This is Kim Watson speaking on Monday the 13th of June. So looking at the euro dollar first, and we saw obviously Thursday, Friday, two large sell-off days, big bearish engulfing on Thursday, Friday, so follow through of that selling. And well, at the moment we seem to be just putting into a bit of a holding pattern. With little to be done here at the moment. It's weekly pivot above us on the which has got some potential, and maybe a daily pivot as well. So we've got daily and weeklies above us. We've just run back into the 60-21s, which generally have a bit of a cause a bit of a slowdown here, which is we're seeing at the moment. If we see a break that 21, well, we could be on for a bigger continuation, but at the moment it looks like the bears have it. Now, part of this selling may be, I was expected to, there's certainly stocks selling off, or been selling off. Let's just check whether we are with the futures at the moment. You know, they're sold off through the Asian session there, and that and the gap largely caused, obviously, but I say obviously, but by the shooting in the US. So it wasn't seen as a get risk aversion. So may see a bit more dollar buying, we'll see. But for now, as I say, euros come to a bit of a staller. Cables selling off again, more voting coming out, and more negative numbers overall, or more negative as in seeing the view being for an exit rather than a stay. So more votes coming in, more bias towards that way, which is leaving us unlikely to hit the weekly pivot at this juncture. And well, even the daily pivot might be a bit of an ask, but never really like it when it's like this. First part of the morning, we can get, I mean, as much as I see a continuation to the downside very easily on the break of the lows here, you could just easily just get trapped into a quick move down and no continuation. So, so if it does start breaking down, we'd look at the S1 and maybe the monthly S2 level there. It's just show you on a bigger picture the S2, monthly S2 there at 40, 140.92. Certainly a possibility as we move through. Okay, just looking through where we are in the overall picture. So we're already some way down. Just looking where we are from a weekly and monthly basis. Right, okay, so any sort of rallies, well, the 60-21's been holding us up pretty tightly. It's stopped the pivot being hit at least once there. I think it may have just got clipped on Thursday. So really, if we get a break of the highs, maybe we'll see the daily pivot touched, but it looks a bit unlikely at the moment. Okay, so dollar yen, well, any sort of selling, any worries now seems to see the yen improve its lot, and it's gained against the US dollar here, going back towards that 105 area. So it's towards the yearly lows there, really. I would expect some sort of bounce around that area. So I'll be surprised if we didn't see the Japanese bank talking again about doing something, taking some steps, but because they certainly don't like it down here. Weekly pivot above, any sort of price action in the coming days could see us moving back towards that. Looking from a 60-minute point of view, we're already down into the S3 pivots here. This is a daily pivot untouched above. Any correction here would possibly see us coming back there, but it is looking weak at the moment overall. Okay, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar seems to be possibly having a bit of a bounce here, certainly showing the signs of a bounce. Already hit the weekly pivot, having done so. Perhaps we could see a continuation in this move up. We saw the push up mainly last week rather, Thursday, Friday saw a sell off, but only back to the monthly pivot there, and it's come into some support at those levels. Looking at the bigger picture here, as I say, we've hit the weekly pivot already. Shorter picture. intermediate picture. We've been having these lower highs, lower lows. If we can start breaking, really, I'd become more bullish if we got above the hourly 50. Personally, I'd be looking a little bit more bullish in that respect. But at the moment, just got to be stepping at us, keeping the sight outside of this at the moment. Any start of a sell-off, well, we could get a continuation towards the lows, but I just think the Aussie dollar seems to be one of the stronger pairs at the moment there against the US dollar. Then the Canadian dollar, let's look at the bigger picture, and we saw a bit of a correction last week as oil started rolling over back a little bit, and consequently we saw the push back up, and it's pushed back up towards already hit the weekly pivot here again. It's just switched to oil on the bigger time frames, and you see oil's coming back. Looks like it could come all the way back towards that monthly pivot at this rate, although the weekly pivot's above us, so any sort of rallies I'd be watching for that as a target. But for now it looks relatively bearish, which could, as I say, push the Canadian dollar up further as well. Any moves here? Well, we've got the daily 8 above us, possible resistance there just above this weekly pivot. Just see how, it'd be interesting to see how we run from here. No divergence. We're looking at a 60-minute time frame. There's no divergence here. At the moment it's having a bit of a correction. Just looking, it's always trying to put in possibly a bit of hidden, it may get a bit of hidden divergence as we move back. There's quite a big retrace on this sell point at the moment, but we'll see how we run. Daily pivot is below us here, but wouldn't want to be just chasing this move with the weakness in the oil price, and the oil price is still tilting south at the moment. So a bit unclear in some respects there, although I think the bigger picture may be with oil heading down, could be for some continued upside, but from support from possibly the 21, the 60-21s may provide support later in the day. Okay, that's pretty much it. News-wise, there's hardly anything today. Obviously, there's in some countries we're seeing the Queen's birthday holiday, so we may get a bit less volume from that point of view coming through. Aside of that, there's absolutely nothing significant in news basis, so it's all down to the news that we're seeing hit the newspapers themselves. Okay, have a great one. Bye for now.